Welcome to the Daily Fantasy 5 for this Friday, June 14th, episode 115, where we are bringing you the 5 things you need to know every day in the world of fantasy sports. We have a sad show today as the NBA Finals have come to an end. The Toronto Warriors are the champions and the series is over. We will get to that and a lot of baseball news after a quick word from our sponsor, mathradio.com, where you can go get an online math course for as little as $9.99 to help your child ages 7 through 17 get better grades in school, score higher on exams, and even get into college. Go to www.mathradio.com today to grab an online math course for as little as $9.99. Mathradio.com. All right, let's talk about the NBA Finals. It was a crazy, crazy, crazy game. So the biggest news happened in the third quarter as Klay Thompson went down with an injury. He was going up for a dunk. Lowry blocked him, or not Lowry, it was Danny Green. Fouled him, but I mean, it wasn't dirty at all. He got even a piece of the ball, didn't even touch his body. Klay just landed badly, and apparently he tore his ACL, which we'll get to later. He found out that he was walking back to the tunnel to go to the training room. He's like, and they told him, like, if you don't shoot the free throws, you can't come back in the game. So he came back out on the court, got an MVP chant, hit both free throws. At that point, with I think 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter, that put them up 5 in the game, and everything was looking good. We thought Klay would be back out there, but he left. He left the stadium on crutches, and it was over from there. Warriors had a chance to win it at the end. Klay missed a shot. There was some madness, and then that was it. They called the timeout they didn't have, technical foul, but it wouldn't have mattered. The game would have been over anyway. So Toronto wins the championship. I really felt like Klay was having an amazing game. I think he had 30 points at that point. He was 4 for 6 from 3. And I really thought it was a Klay MVP and we were going to win it all. You know, Klay comes back out of the tunnel from that injury, hits those free throws. I'm thinking, wow, this is his MVP run. The Golden State Warriors are going to come back. We're going to win all our bets and everything's going to be wonderful. Well, it didn't quite work out that way. Not to take anything away from what Toronto did, but when you don't have Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant, 2 of your best players, you don't have much of a chance. So that is what happened last night. We did win our over bet. That was nice. We easily cleared the over with about 6 minutes to go. And we lost 3 on the playoffs. Well, I think there was 1 baseball bet in there. So we really were down 2 units for the NBA playoffs. Not bad. It was certainly a lot better when we were up 10, but, you know, that's the way things happen. Okay, I mentioned it earlier. Klay Thompson did, in fact, tear his his ACL in his left knee. They did an MRI, and that news was out this morning. Typically, this is a 9-month recovery to normal action, and then you've got to get back into basketball shape again. So I don't know. It's a similar timetable to what Kevin Durant is on, basically. I mean, what is going to happen to Klay from this point? I mean, he's, I believe, a free agent as well. I don't think he signed a contract. All indications were that he was going to go back to Golden State. But what happens to him? Are they going to sign him and Kevin Durant if neither of them are going to play next year and just punt the season? Maybe just sit out Klay and Draymond as well and just say, hey, we'll come back in 2021. I don't know. There's a lot to go, you know, with Kevin Durant's injury and Klay's injury. What's going to happen with the Warriors, what's going to happen with the NBA. I mean, the Durant stuff has, you know, all kinds of implications. The Wizards today announced that they're going to try to sign Masai Ujiri, the Toronto GM, $10 million a year. I think it'd be a good move for them. We'll see if it happens. That would also change the landscape. It's going to be a crazy offseason in the NBA. We'll be here to cover it from a fantasy angle. Just real quick before we get to the baseball news, we're going to start our football fantasy coverage in depth on Monday. We'll be bringing you, what are we going to do? The top 20 running backs. We'll bring you probably 4 or 5 each day, depending how many baseball stories we get. Because all we have left is baseball, really, and then off-season news to talk about. So we're going to go through the top 20 at each position, and then we'll also do some sleepers as well. So that'll get started on Monday after the weekend. Of course, we'll still have shows this weekend. We'll talk a lot of baseball. Maybe we'll talk some gambling, soccer lines, and some other fun stuff. But anyway, there was some news in baseball, some good news, actually. Dodgers infielder Seager, he had an injury. They thought it was going to be out 6 weeks at least. Well, it was better than we thought. They thought it was a grade 2 strain. It is only a grade 1. He will be out less than a month, they're predicting, instead of at least 6 weeks. So that's good news for the Dodgers. The Phillies also acquired Brad Miller from the Yankees, and some more good news for at least NL owners. He only had 36 Major League at-bats this season, but in AAA, he did hit 10 home runs. He does have some power potential. Back in 2016 for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, he did hit 30 home runs. So there is power potential for Brad Miller on the Phillies. So that could be an interesting option going forward. My final note today on the fantasy news is that you should be starting all of your Padres. They are playing at Colorado tonight against Jeff Hoffman, who is just awful. He has an 8.06 ERA this year with a 1.56 whip. He's actually a little bit better at home, which is surprising, but maybe not because he's given up 11 runs in his last 10 innings on the road. So that's why he has a better home ERA of around, 7? So averages out to about 8.06. So I'd be starting all my Padres as I expect Jeff Hoffman to get lit up. And that is all the news from today in the world of fantasy sports for your daily Fantasy 5. We'll be back tomorrow to discuss all the happenings of the weekend, maybe preview some Major League Baseball matchups, and talk about the injuries that will for sure happen tonight. What else do we have going on? Please visit our sponsor, www.mathradio.com, to pick up an online math course for your kids. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and leave us a comment in the comments below. If you're listening to the podcast, we'd love a 5-star rating and a review. We will see you tomorrow. Bye for now, folks.